Hello everybody, this is KL Tech Nerd bringing you another tutorial video for Minecraft. Today what I'll be looking at is some concepts that I have for a wheat farm. Fully operational, but one of these is going to be in my Let's Play world when I finally get it up and running. Now, this one is the only one that's officially running right now, but everything is already set up in all of these farms that we're going to be taking a look at. This is probably the smallest and most complex and most odd-shaped one. I really probably should have put some of the blocks back on the top, but, you know, you kind of do get an idea of what's going on here by looking at what's, you know, how it looks without the top, but you get the kind of idea that I'm going for in these. I would like to do a diamond-shaped farm, and my goal for these is to have it run, look clean, and be 100%. Oh my goodness, you are seriously trying to get up there right now. There. You scare me too much. So my idea is to have everything running 100% automatic. I don't want to have to think about it at all. And oh my goodness, the music is really loud right now. Hold on. Now, I don't know about everybody else when they play this game, but when I play it, I'm very, very busy throughout the day. I don't really have time to build a gigantic wheat tower that goes up to the sky and fill in every single plot, only to then wait for it to grow, only to then harvest it using water like the old method that I've used in some of my older videos. So my goal for this was to use villagers to make it 100%. Just set it, forget it, it'll keep running. And that's pretty easy to do if you're going to do carrots or potatoes, because as my friend right here can show you, it's really, really easy. He goes, he collects the carrots right over here, he gives them to that villager, this hopper picks it up, and then you can go and then route it wherever you want to. You're not being very giving right now, man. I guess it's probably because he's still filling them in. Maybe if I give him, like here's 31. Yeah, give some to your friend. There you go. So, yeah, let's go check back with him later. So, the whole idea, though, is to make it so I just set it and forget it. I still would like to do the gigantic tower, but I don't want to ever have to go into the tower. My main goal for my main Let's Play is to have a basement where I can be in the ground, look up at the towers, see the little villagers running around, and go up to one chest, and then open it, and then get my items that I need. At that point, then I could use the wheat for anything I need to do, including what I am going to use it for, which is the cow crusher, which is where you put a bunch of cows into one block. I'll turn that on to make it easier, and then you give it a bunch of wheat. And you just watch as the beef and the leather stack up. You get a bunch of beautiful resources, and everything's hunky-dory. You get tons of food, tons of leather, but the problem is you also need tons of wheat to be able to do this. And in my Let's Play, I'm going to be having many, many different rows of cows, so it's going to be... I'm going to be surprised if they still do the message where it pops up and then says, hey, you're beyond the cap. But that would be kind of my dream anyway. So, yeah. So basically what happens is these guys are 100%. They're meant to be left. This one's nice and easy because all he has to do is give the carrots to his friend. And then everything's hunky-dory. These ones, though, you have to kind of work around it. The idea is similar. He picks up the wheat. I think he's just taking the seeds, the extra seeds over there. Hopefully not all the seeds. But I will soon find out from that one. So, you take the wheat, he picks it up. And in this, there's hoppers now under it. Now, if you have full blocks, and then you put an item on it, a hopper will not get the item. But if you have the crop plot... Hold on, can I just get a crop plot right here? Okay, so... let me go and get one of these guys. That's just low enough Do you see how it went down? That's just low enough. So now the hopper will work underneath it. And this whole thing works off of that principle. So that stuff gets collected. It all goes into this one row of hoppers. This guy sorts out the seeds. The seeds go down here to get put back up here. And as you can see, there's a dropper right there. So if I go right here, seeds. Let me get a bunch of them. I could legitimately just throw a bunch of this stuff in here. And just scatter them all around, man. And as you can see, it's sorting them out. It's shooting out the seeds. Everything's hunky-dory. He's probably going to make a lot more other stuff. But if you check right here, which is where it all goes down to, it'll eventually... There we go. Okay, so there's 2 wheat, and there should eventually be a lot more bone meal. Now, these things work very, very slowly, so it's not the best first farm to make for food. But since I'm kind of near the end game, before the end of the year, I'm probably going to switch to a new world. This seems like just the kind of project that'll be a great project to work on, along with the mob farm, just one of those mega farms I really need to finish. That I probably will not finish before I start the next game, so there's that. But that's a whole story for another one. So how does this guy work? So the hoppers pick up this. There's an item sorter down here. The seeds are going to go down here to where there's a dropper, and there's about 5 of them, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is the circuit that you need that controls everything. So if you need to write it down, that's cool, but this guy is hooked up to the hopper. It points to some redstone. Then there's another doodad here. I need to figure out the name. There's a repeater right here. So it goes into a comparator, goes into redstone, then a repeater goes, and then you have redstone, redstone. Touching this hopper is another piece of redstone. Then there's a block that raises a piece of redstone right next to the next dropper. And that's how these two fire off. Then this guy, the observer, goes, looks at the redstone, fires off these two. Then this guy goes, and then fires off these two. And what do you know? There's this one that's pointed right here, so everything's hunky-dory. It fires off, and it's going to be daytime soon, so let's sleep it off. Okay, I guess you're going to be that way. Now, this is how everything works in principle. I did add this because to make him a farmer, you need to have one of these. You also really should trade with him because, number one, good trades. Number two, you lock him into a farmer so he never stops being a farmer. That's kind of important. So everything can continue going the way that it is. Hunky-dory. Everything's good. And that's kind of the first one that I wanted to show up. This is my first attempt at this farm. So the whole idea is to make it so I can stack these up. So when I tried to stack them, so you can kind of see down there, there's where the farming area would be. So the villager would be right here. I'm not too happy with this design, mainly because it goes, and I want to make it so if I, let's say I'm on the ground, I can see the farming plot. And my goal was to keep the guts in these wings. But the problem is that that's a lot of space that I could look up and see the farm, but I'm not going to be able to. So I still need to figure out how to get that stuff worked out so I can still have the internal guts of it and then have everything still be visible from the ground. So, yeah. But this one, it's a little bit more compact. If you see this one, the diamond shape's kind of messed up. So that's no good, but it's getting there, right? But this one I was able to fit more of it in the sides. Same concept, really. So you go right here. There's the dropper. There's this part. And then all the wheat now, because I was trying to fit it in, and I really was having a hard time fitting it in. Oh, this is another thing I needed to point out. The whole idea of this is I wanted to be able to make it so I could see like a waterfall of wheat going down the side as it fires. Now, I may not ever get a waterfall of wheat per se, because you would need a lot of those, but I figured it'd be fun anyway to put a dropper right here. So when you go over here, oh, one just fired off, cool. So all the seeds go down here, but anything else bypasses that and goes in here into a dropper. So then I have the same circuit right here, which is comparator, goes into repeater. Same thing going into this guy that then fires it off. So it'll drop like that. Oh, perfect. 2 of them. And then it falls, and then you get to watch it fall, and then there's a hopper at the bottom that collects it. So we got 1 bone meal, 4 wheat. And so you could imagine, though, that since I emptied these before this video started, that if I had, like, let's say 10 of these, that'd be 40 wheat, and it's only been, like, 10 minutes. So that's a pretty good, like, well, it's not a pretty good, but if I was in the general area and I AFK'd for, you know, a couple hours, I could get a lot of wheat that way. But that's kind of my goal, too, is to get, like, maybe 10 farms all stacked onto each other to get just a gigantic tower of wheat. And then this guy is going to be giving me some bone meal, too, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully he's not doing that to the wheat. Okay, there we go. I just realized that I could do that with the wheat. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so there we go. So there's some bone meal, too. Now, this is my second attempt at it. So, same process, only this time I did get the... Or I didn't put... I should say, I didn't put the chamber on the sides to go down. I couldn't quite fit it in, but same thing. Wheat goes down here. If I could get like 8 of these stacked up. The problem with this one, though, is that this is the next farm. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks high. So if I look up at this thing, I'm going to see just a gigantic wall of brick and then a tiny bit of window. So I kind of wanted to reduce that because why not? But same process, you could kind of see the circuits better now. So this is an item sorter. This has wheat. You just put any blocks right here to stop it. So only the wheat seeds goes in. Hopefully no carrots comes down the line. Anyway, though, so same thing, though. You have the comparator going out here. 3 blocks of redstone. Then you have a repeater going into a torch. This torch turns off this guy. Same deal. The seeds go down here. Then they get fired off. If you can see, the same thing. The observer right here. Observer right here. This guy fires it out. I can kind of show it right here. So as long as carrots don't go down the line, this thing's going to work out perfectly. So see, I can go do this. I might have to wait. There we go. Okay, cool. So you can kind of see right there. I put the seeds in here. They fire out. Everything's working. Beautiful. I just have a hopper line right here going for that stuff. So, second concept, it works. I did make the field bigger because one of my biggest problems that I want to do is try to make it so there's just... I want to make it so there's a ton of wheat coming out. And I'm a little leery against putting 2 of these guys together because I don't know if I really care if there's going to be bread coming out of it. But I definitely want the wheat. So there is that. So I kind of don't want to really try to make them try to breed and then kids start showing up and then it gets a little silly. So moving on, I have this one still. I'm not sure I'm really happy with it because I don't have anything on the sides right now that you can see into and see the wheat fields, but the bigger field that I've ever had. So you can kind of see I can have it 4 off. So this is about the size of the other field, so 3 extra ones on each side. It's a lot bigger. Same thing, though. So if I go, and I have that hooked up, I should. That's the item sorter. Okay, I don't necessarily have it hooked up, but you can kind of see the internals here. So everything that's on the top here is going to go here into the item sorter. So this is for the next field up. Then this stuff's going to go over here, and what do you know, the output's right here. So I was kind of able to fit the dropping system for the wheat right here. I did not put the part that shoots out the seeds yet, but we've kind of seen that twice. So I'm not really that worried about that, but I will eventually, before I build it, get to fitting it in. But that just kind of gives an idea of this is what I've been working with. And, oh, this one, though. You saw the other circuit. This one is a little bit more stable because one big flaw in the last circuit is, let's say, because of the way that it's wired together, let's say it just gets way over flooded with wheat. And I kind of need to mess up this one to show you, but like, let's say I put a ton of wheat right here. Because it's here, it doesn't fire off unless I have one wheat that goes right there, and then, what do you know, the whole system breaks. And then this backs up, and then you get kind of some problems here. And basically what can happen is that this hopper gets full, and then this one's always on, so it's not triggering this circuit. One way that I did work around that, and this is kind of cool, is I did something similar to what I did with my chicken farm, which is instead of testing this hopper, I tested this guy directly. So this guy fires off here. So there could be 100 items in here. And what happens is because there's anything in here, this guy turns off this torch. There's one item, that's an oak sapling, but it can be any item that's right here. It goes back and forth, and then it just keeps triggering the dropper until it's empty. And that's probably kind of the circuit that I might go with, because this is noisy and it uses up a little bit more iron, but I will always prefer something that's less efficient, but always works, versus something that's very efficient, but you might need to check into. And like I said before, I'm lazy. I don't really want to go and look into like how much... I don't want to have to go back up here and do maintenance. I literally would just like to sit it, forget it, go into the storage area that I'm planning on kind of on my main game putting in the ground right here. So I could sit right here and then see like 1 tower, 2 towers, 3 towers, 4 towers, 5 towers. Yes, I'm planning on having 5 towers. One of them is going to be a wheat field. One of them's going to be for the beetroot. Another one's going to be for carrots, potatoes, and I'd like to have one that's like cactus and melon and cantaloupe, and I wish this game had cantaloupe, and pumpkins and sugar, and just throw everything I can at it and have this whole area be like a major food central. And I think that'll be a really cool idea too, to have like a mega food central. So that's kind of what I'm planning on this area. Oh, and of course I would put one of these guys in here. So like, let's say I get a ton of wheat, because I mean, if you sit here for 10 minutes and you get, let's say, I believe we've been here for almost about 20 minutes, and unless I lost someone, I ruined the circuit, which could happen. I mean, that's 6 for 20 minutes. That's not that bad, but if I had 10 of them, that's like a stack in 10 minutes of wheat. So, I mean, I sit there for an hour, it's going to start to add up. If I AFK for, you know, a day, it's going to really add up. So, and that's for that small one right there. The one that's bigger, like this one, should have a bigger output. Eventually, I might try to see what'll happen if I put, like, you know what? Let's break this. I want to break this. We'll see if we can get bread in this right now. Yeah, I know I called this a tutorial video. I kind of like to play around in some of these. So let's go do this. And then let's say compost. So anyway, though, this is the main reason why I go in here is just so I can kind of play around. Okay, so you are giving him stuff, too. Which is a thing now. Oh, wow. Don't tell me that you're, Oh, dude, yeah, 18 bread. So they do give bread when you do that. It'll be interesting to find out, though, if they actually still collect the wheat and how much this thing's going to go. But I guess if you wanted to have a bread farm for part of this, that would be kind of cool to put, like, 2 villagers in one and then have them, multiples of them collect wheat. I mean, that might be kind of cool, too. Anyway, so this has been KL Tech Nerd bringing you another Minecraft video. I hope this video helps out someone. This is kind of what I'm working on right now for my main survival world, and oh no. No, 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 no. Go back in there. No. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no. Don't. Alrighty, so this has been my video on the 100% automated wheat farm. It does work in concept. I'm just trying to shrink it right now before I go and start, like, adding it to my main survival world. Because face it, when I do a gigantic, massive farm, it's going to just be crazy. And it's going to probably take... So 39 carrots in that little bit of time. So it's not that bad, really. And now I'm kind of interested in how it would be to build a bread farm, though. But that's kind of just how I am. 28 and 18. Okay, so, and I guess if you add a big farm too, it would be kind of cool to have multiple villagers trying to do all the work. Right now, though, they kind of seem to be hanging out instead of working that. Okay, so one thing to be worried about is I guess I did break the farm by adding the second villager, so don't do that. Or what might be a good idea, too, would be to split them up. So, like, with this bigger farm, maybe have, like, wall right here to split them up so each farmer kind of gets their own field, but they're far enough away to where they can't, like, mess with each other. Because unless you really want a bread farm, in which case that's not a bad thing to get a bread farm. But I wouldn't put 2 villagers in one. That seems like it might break it. Anyway, thank you so very much, everybody, for watching. I hope this video helps out somebody. All of these ideas are working. I mean, it really could be like the best food tower ever that you can make that's 100% automated wheat. It's just unfortunate that, like, you can't put multiple villagers together without them playing around. And stuff like that. So, yeah, maybe they'll start making more wheat. I'm kind of wondering if, like, even if just one shows up, it'll be better than thinking that I just completely broke it by adding a second villager. In which case, I guess I could fix it just by destroying this guy. And then, yeah, that way he can't jump up there. But, I keep hearing them picking it. I'm hoping that the wheat will still go up, because the idea that I just completely broke it definitely means I don't do this. But this was the automated wheat farms that I made. I hope this video helps out somebody, and I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. If you haven't, please don't forget to subscribe. It'll really help the channel out. And that way you'll be notified the next time that I make another Minecraft video. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and comment if you want to tell me what kinds of videos you think I should do next. I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.